You know, guys, recently Isaac of WatsoVideo.com did a video on the love story of Phineas and Isabella. Now, long story short, he basically pointed out all the various moments that the creative staff had to finally put Isabella and Phineas together, but always found a way to change that to where it remained in the status quo. And that it would remain that way until the very end, when you had a post-high school graduate version of both Phineas and Isabella finally confessing their feelings for each other, when Phineas realizes the whole time that Isabella had a thing for him, and he just didn't realize it until that very moment. Now, with that said, the reason I bring it up is because for some odd reason, it sounds very similar. This situation with Phineas and Isabella, from what Isaac pointed out in his video, sounds very similar to Spike and Rarity's situation in My Little Pony. Hear me out. You see, just like Isabella and Phineas would always do things for each other to help each other out, you can kind of see that with Spike and Rarity at times. However, the biggest difference between the two couples, if you will, is you can put Spike in the Isabella role and Rarity somewhat in the Phineas role. But unlike Phineas, Rarity is kind of knowledgeable of how Spike feels about her, but doesn't really kind of acknowledge it as much as a lot of fans that support Sparity or actually want to see these two together hope that she would. It's kind of similar to Phineas in a sense that later on he knows about, he kind of has an idea of how Isabella feels about him, but he doesn't bring it up. He doesn't acknowledge it because he's more focused on having the best summer ever. And like I said, it isn't until the end that they realize that they are compatible. They are an item. They care about each other more than just as friends. And again, the reason I bring this up, basically, is because I can see something similar with Spike and Rarity. But the biggest difference is, like I said, Rarity is aware of Spike's feelings for her, but doesn't acknowledge it as much. But there are moments between the two that kind of tease that there is something more there than just friendship. And it's been done since the beginning of the series. The most recent acknowledgement of it, of course, being in The Best Gift Ever. But the reason I bring this up is because when Isaac pointed out how finally Isabella and Phineas got together and realized how that they love each other, that basically this wouldn't be acknowledged to the very end. And I thought about when I saw the video, I was thinking, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if perhaps if we get even a tease this Saturday and She's All Yak, we get a tease there, if we get a moment, because one fan that watched a video I did said that he hopes, or he theorizes and speculates and hopes perhaps we'll get a scene to where Rarity goes to the dance by herself, Spike's there, he asks her to dance with him, she does, and during the dance, Spike, because now he can fly, will fly him into the air. And when this person mentioned that scene, it kind of made me reminisce and remember the scene from Casper, the '95 movie. But anyway, back on topic. When Isaac brought this up, again, it made me think about the fact that, and if not speculate, if not theorize, and think about the fact that if the creative staff of Phineas and Ferb could wait to the very end of the series to finally put Isabella and Phineas together, is the creative staff at MLP doing something similar? Are they waiting towards the end of the series to have Spike and Rarity together? I mean, it would make sense when you think about it. I mean, just like with Phineas and Isabella, basically that was teased, acknowledged, and had its moments since the beginning. The same could be said here with Rarity and Spike. But will they do that? And I think Isabella had probably the best line that represented not just her and Phineas finally kissing and committing to each other and all that, but it was also a line that represented the fans of the show that wanted it to happen, that have been wanting it to happen, I should say. And the line was, "It was worth the wait." It was worth the wait. And I'm thinking, is that what we're going to get? Is that what it's going to be when they finally put Spike and Rarity together? Because you cannot tell me that the actresses and the creative staff behind the scenes don't realize that fans want to see these two together, because they do want to see Spike and Rarity together. So are they making us wait to the end? Like, the moment it happens towards the end of the series will be worth the payoff, or the payoff at the end will be worth it. I'm probably guessing that's what they're doing. Now, whether or not we get a hint in another step towards that, or another tease and hint towards that this Saturday with Shizo Yak, or in the next couple of episodes, or the remaining episodes of the first half of the final season, or in the second half, that's up in the air. But I will say that what we're getting, or not what we're getting, but what's happening, what's happening, the way they're kind of teasing it at times. Again, after watching Isaac Watson's video on Isabella and Phineas, it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder if that's exactly what they're planning. Because when you think about it, a lot of shows have done this. Disney is notorious for doing it. I mean, yeah, they had one more season afterwards because fans wanted they wanted a finale season by demand. But yeah, they waited till basically the Soda Drama movie, which was a bridge between season 3 and 4, to finally put Ron and Kim together, even though they've teased and acknowledged, if not hinted, that there's something between them that could be more than just friendship. They waited towards the end to put Ron and Kim together in Kim Possible. Now, I don't know if any of the show staff that worked on any of these Disney shows that I mentioned are working on MLP-FIM. But if they are, and they're probably giving ideas of what they did there to Nicole Dubuque and Josh Haber and Stephen Davis, whatever, and they're utilizing some of those ideas in the series, we don't know. But if one of those ideas is to wait to the very end to put Rarity and Spike together as an official couple, because they know fans are expecting that to happen, then hopefully it will be worth the wait. But again, the reason I bring this up is because when I watched that video by Isaac, it made me really think, is that, because the way they built towards Isabella and Phineas, and they finally pulled the trigger on it at the end, is that what they're doing here? And if that's what they're doing here, if they're doing something similar, then okay, more power to them. But you have a peripheral of fans, a huge amount of fans that support these two as an item. They want to see it happen. They want some kind of resolution, hopefully the resolution they hope for. but yet you keep teasing and teasing and teasing, hinting and hinting, having moment after moment, but yet nothing official yet. The only closest thing, like I said, is Best Gift Ever, and I look at that as sort of semi-official. Semi-official. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what they have planned. But for anybody that's thinking it will never happen, and Phineas and Isabella is the exception, let me tell you about one thing Isaac pointed out in his video. He pointed out that even towards the finale, in the finale, they made it look like it wasn't going to happen till it did. They teased it wasn't going to happen till it did. Will we get something similar here? That's the question. That is the big question, and I think we will. I think we will get something. When and where it occurs is another question. But for anybody that still thinks it shouldn't happen because Spike's a kid, he's a baby dragon, he's a teenager. Let me quote something, or kind of paraphrase something that Finn the Pony said in his review of episode 200. When he talked about the part of Spike revealing himself as the true mastermind behind the whole heist in getting the sibling supreme crown, Finn basically pointed out by doing this and knowing Twilight and Shining Armor the way he does and knowing his friends the way he does, proved, not only gave Spike validation finally, but basically helped him come full circle and help acknowledge him as a true young adult. Not a kid, an adult. Just because he's small for his size, he is an adult. A lot of people even point out the difference between ages. Like, what's the difference between a dragon age and a pony age? And for all we know, just because Spike's small doesn't mean isn't the same age. You know what I'm saying? Point being, the point being though, you have someone in the Rift Cafe analysis community acknowledging Spike as a young adult, not as a baby, not as a teen, not as a kid. And coupled with what I saw in Isaac's video, it really tells me, and even to top this off, I had a retweet and a comment by Kathy Westluck, Spike's voice, the voice of Spike. Kathy Westluck tweeted me back, because I tweeted her the song I just seen /her face, a PMV I did on Spike and Rarity, and she tweeted back, so sweet, and she retweeted and liked my video. Kathy Westluck, the voice of Spike. So it tells me that if Kathy finds something like that sweet, finds something like that good enough to retweet and like, it tells me she knows something. In fact, even when I asked her, a question, even when I thanked her for doing that, and kind of asked her if she knew anything, even though I acknowledged she probably couldn't say anything, she didn't comment back. She didn't say you're welcome or anything, because I think she knows something. She knows something, but she can't say. But when and where this occurs, again, is up in the air. But like I said, when you take that tweet that Kathy gave me, and you take what Finn said, and you take what I watched on Isaac Wotso's video, it tells me, and basically the similarities you can see almost, it tells me that if we're going to get anything between the two, it's probably, more than likely, going to be towards the end of the series. It'll be towards the end of the series. We might, not saying we will, but we might get a hint of something, a tease, or a moment of something this Saturday, but we'll have to wait and see. But overall, we know it's coming. We just don't know when, we just don't know where, but if what Isaac showed in his video is any indication, and you see the somewhat similarities, we'll probably get something at the end. More than likely. More than likely. So, that's all I'm going to really say, guys. Let me know what you all think down below. Comment if you like, and I'll talk to y'all later.